As we know, Cineverse is a pretty major player in this space and enables you to go out and roam. But I'm going to talk about what you need to do on your side to ready your network to connect to somebody like Cineverse. As changing over the next year or so, and I think a lot of us, a lot of you over here probably have to be ready for it. So let me talk a little bit about difference between what you're used to, which is SS7 and 3G and LTE. One of the biggest differences between the two is a typical telecom network was hierarchical. You had elements like STPs that would sit in the network and sort of manage your traffic and do things like load balancing or congestion management, throttling, etc. LTE comes from a very IP-centric mindset, which is a point-to-point. For a little bit after the fact, the standards bodies have defined an element called the diameter routing agent, which does a lot of the routing functions, so all the diameter messages routed through it. They've also defined an edge agent, which is basically a box that kind of sits. It used to be called a gateway STP before, but essentially that sits in the edge of the network, and that becomes your single point of presence to the rest of the world. So essentially, without a diameter edge agent, you'll have connections from your, all that complicated diagram you showed, all the, P gateways, HSSs, everything is direct connected to the core, to somebody else's network without an edge agent. With an edge agent, you provide a single presence or a single view to the outside world. So that gives you the ability to mask your network, and you don't have to modify or update routing tables throughout the geography, as you make changes on your side. So that's a very key element of the new architecture, which is diameter edge agent. The third thing, which is a key element, is also interworking. And interworking is essentially, as the world moves on, it's, you're not going to have LTE everywhere, so you will have to, in certain markets, fall back to 3G. Unfortunately, they speak a different language. They speak SS7 and MAP, so somebody has to sit there and do that translation. That is another function called interworking function that's been defined by the standards bodies as well, and that also can go into this box. So combination of all these capabilities is defined as a diameter signaling controller, DSC. We have a product in this space, and our product is called the diameter routing engine. Happy to say that if you are a Globecom customer, you should be able to use this shortly. Working in the opposite direction. So, quick list of benefits of having an edge device in your network. One is topology hiding, very key. Essentially, you don't want the outside world to have a full view of your network. So you want to have something like a natting capability where, you become the face to the outside world and everything is routed to you. So the outside world views that single box as your HSS, your P gateway, your S gateway, whatever, your PCRF, and then the smarts is in the box now then to route the message to the appropriate endpoint. Local breakout, which is also another key where you might want to say, hey, my neighboring networks, I want to just do direct peer-to-peer roaming with them. Whereas, in some other cases, when I'm going farther away, I'm connecting to the IPX. So that's a local breakout. Legacy interworking was the third point I talked about, where you do 3G to 4G roaming. And obviously load balancing, which is a smaller issue, less of an issue for, for smaller operators. Load balancing is where you have 5 HSSs and you want, zonal load balancing for the East Coast, West Coast. Obviously, that's less of an issue. But these are the key features, capabilities we provide in our box. So finally, let me add one more element to this. So with diameter, everybody's been very focused on routing and, but there is another key element in diameter as well. There's a lot of smarts that goes to this network. So for example, I can identify when an iPhone gets turned on in your network. I get a message with the device type says, hey, iPhone gets turned on. I know, you can say geographically, I want to know all the iPhones getting turned on at Atlanta Airport, for example. You can set a trigger, and we will notify you. So you could, and you could do a whole lot of things with things like, with the information like that. You can do different billing. You can do specialized, advertising. what have you. So there's a lot of capability that's, we give an example of one where, as subscribers pop up in different parts of the network, we give you visibility so you can do some network planning. But we provide you the capability to bring a lot of these applications to market by providing you the core information that you would need. And we're partnering with a number of app vendors, that sort of need this kind of information. So again, there's a way to monetize the network using a box like that. And as long as you have some creative ideas, we provide you a way, provide you the information for you to monetize the network. So that's the tool we provide as well. So once again, we're very pleased to work with Globecom on this, and in the next month or two, I think we're going to bring the system live and working with, and obviously there's, our partner Cineverse is going to allow connection to the outside world. So we're very excited, and again, thank you for inviting us, Gopi and George and Ken and the team. Happy to answer any questions after Chip gets his chance to say a few things. Thank you.